Hi Libra, great to see you. Come on in. Libra, it's just now time for your Libra April 2020 reading. I'm Nigel Saint James, for those of you who haven't seen me before. Now for you Libra subscribers, as you can probably tell, I've just been spending an hour or so in prayer and meditation for you Libra subscribers. Sending you, and you will feel this, tranquility, strength, peace, and vigor throughout the month of April. So look forward to that. You'll get it. And thank you also for you Libras who I have had personal readings with since last month's videos. Thank you also for introducing me to your friends, because I know that they've contacted me. I appreciate that vote of confidence. And you know, of course, that I do readings for people from all over the world through FaceTime and Skype. Since last month's videos, for example, I've been doing the readings for people from the United States, Canada, Great Britain, Ireland, South Africa, the Philippines, Hong Kong, Australia, New Zealand. Other places as well, Germany, Italy, Greece, Dubai. You'd be surprised at the number of places that YouTube stretches to around the world, and that people are interested in tarot readings like this. If you would like to have your own personal reading and some one-on-one time, check out the description box below, and that will give you my website and contact details, and we can take it from there. But now let's get things underway for you, shall we? And draw some tarot cards. Well, here's a couple that have come out straight away. So this is the Sun, and this is the Eight of Swords. This is the Eight of Discs. It's interesting looking artwork on that card. There is the World. Oh, rather racy looking picture of the world lady there. More of it, I say. And there's the Queen of Swords. Now, you said last month that you enjoyed to have 3 playing cards just as a treat at the end of the reading, so we will do that, and let's see what they happen to be. The 4 of Diamonds, the 5 of Spades, the 6 of Diamonds. Well, okay, as is our usual practice, come down, sit down next to me, and let's have a look at these cards together while I do the reading for you. Now, the highly talented and attractive Libra, let's have a look at this first card here, and it doesn't get much better than this, does it? The Sun. Well, the Lord of the fire of the word. Now, astrologically, of course, it's closely associated with the sun, and esoterically with the Egyptian sun gods. This is about success, fortune, optimism, and happiness. This card for you is a big yes, and it's one of the first that came out. Look, the sun is the source of life and represents success and abundance, and this is going to follow you during this period. The energy will get you through any tough times or moments that you think you're having. The sun is going to illuminate your path after, well, what I think is quite possibly has been something of a trying time, hasn't it? I think that would probably be fair to say. You'd agree with me? Well, this is a turning point, and it says for you to embrace your goals and give it everything you've got. If you've had a tough time, things are going to get better. You can move mountains when this card turns up. It's about creative energy, highly creative energy, awareness, and fulfilled love relationships. I think wisdom and a degree of transformation here for you as well. Now, underneath it is this most beautiful card of the World. Let's have a look to see what the World has to say to us. Let me get her in focus. There she is. Well, for me, she is the Great One of the night time. This really is Such a beautiful card. Astrologically, I have the whole of the zodiac associated with her. And if there was a planet there, then Saturn, but Saturn in its good sense. Saturn in the sense of, I'm bringing you back and I'm taking you along the path that you were born to have, which is that of happiness and success. This speaks of the completion of a project. Your efforts are finally paying off. And again, I think it has probably been a long haul, but you're almost there, and it's a reminder for you to finish what you started. You're learning to take control of your own destiny now, and using the power of your will, you are going to get results. It's quite possible that you will be obtaining new levels of spiritual understanding. There is, I think, the completion, the initiator, someone who is actually gifted in completing the old and starting the new is what I see here for you. I think you actually could be quite ecologically minded during this period. There'll be a desire to experience much of the world and its people as is possible. Now, I think that probably before the age of 21, there was a sexual block which needed cutting through, and that has successfully been cut through. But now, I really get the feeling that something is ending and something is beginning at the same time. But this is not a cause of any concern for you. It's something which you're going to feel very good about. You may well have a desire to travel or to study. And I think you may overcome any sexual reticence that you have. This is a particularly beautiful card. I'd have these thoughts in mind, and it is to trust your perceptions. Make a list of all unfinished situations whose resolution would give you a sense of relief, and have this thought in mind. I love to travel. I love to explore the unknown. I am excited about bringing ideas and creative projects into form. I deeply value making a contribution that makes those around me feel better. I am one with the universe. So glad you got that card. And let's have a look at this one in the center here, shall we? What is this? Oh, the 8. Let me bring it out a little bit further. There it is. Well, this 8 of discs here really is for me the Lord of Prudence. It is the Sun ruling the first decan of Virgo. That period, the 23rd of August to the 2nd of September. Now, I'm interested also in the number 8 in this card, because for me, mystically, there is associated with the number 8 the planet of Mercury. Now, this is particularly fortunate for you in this card and with this astrology, because remember I said I have the Sun ruling Virgo here? Well, Mercury in ordinary astrology is also the ruler of and is exalted in Virgo, so this is very favorable. And here we have the Sun energizing Virgo's hard work and attention to detail. I have to say that I think also that you are going to hear of pregnancy and birth during this period. I think what this card is also saying is that if you look around at the things that you are doing now, and particularly those things that you're working towards, I think it's really saying that, pull it out, that there is a need for time and patience to develop something. Don't rush it as it's a long-term thing, and be prepared to bide your time and let it come to fruition. This energy is an encouragement for you to keep doing what you're doing, as it is eventually going to lead to success. Now, sure, it's going to require a lot of dedication, focus, and patience, But as time passes, you are going to be closer to your goal. Now, it may not be apparent to you, but events are unfolding that are going to lead you to your destination. Yeah, I am getting this feeling of additional training and study that may be required. You know, look things up on the internet, do a course, find that. And I think what's also important here is that this is a time for you to manage the energies between the different parts of your life. And have this thought in mind: I relax and I trust life. And ask yourself this: are you giving yourself the protection and nourishment you need now for your development? Let's see what this has to say. Another 8. This time, the 8 of Swords. Well, this really is an energy here of sort of shortened force, I think. I'm seeing Jupiter ruling the first decade of Gemini, about that 21st to the 31st of May. Now, Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and for Jupiter to leave Sagittarius and go across into Gemini, it has to go 180 degrees away to the diametrically opposed side of the zodiac, and therefore it's going to be in detriment. And so Jupiter is weakened, and the inquisitive nature of Gemini inhibits Jupiter. So a weakened Jupiter means that you might feel that you can't get what you want due to too many, which is the Gemini aspect, distractions, which really may or may not be self-created. And you want to think about that. Where are these self-distractions coming from? I think what we should also say about this energy here for you is this: that you may, in an overall situation, be having something of a hard time making up your mind about what is the best option for you to take. You could be having, because Gemini is very much a mental sort of a sign, you could be having analysis paralysis, with your energy scattered in a Gemini way on endless, unproductive thoughts. Well, maybe a solution is to take time out and do something that is different, and let Jupiter do its work, and let things settle. Come back with new eyes. You could be wasting your time on new things, which are maybe not necessarily in your best interest. Nevertheless, I think that your mind is going to come to save you. And let's have a look at this. Yeah, this is really where you come into your own, and you come in to save yourself, because I see a lot of Libra in this card, a lot of Libra in this card. It could well be a Virgo that's around you as well. But there's great Libra energy here. I'm getting this because I'm looking at this green eye here, and the green for me esoterically is associated with the planet of Venus, and of course Venus is your ruler. Very much a great degree of Libra all around here. Now, who are these ravens? Well, I think they come from Norse mythology. Hugin and Mumin were the two ravens, and they were the eyes of Odin, the king of the Norse gods, and they were his companions. And each day at dawn, he sent them out to fly out over the realm, and at dinner time, they returned with all the news of the world. Their names, Hugin and Munin, mean thought and memory. And Odin always worried that one day they would not come back, but they always did. In dream or subconscious, symbolism different things flow and merge together as internal ideas, and they search out really external ideas to stand in for them. Now, I suspect that the reason why green was used in the eye of this card here is because it is the center of the visible color spectrum. Green is the center of the spectrum, which is comprised of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Green is the very center of our beautiful, colorful reality, the center of the rainbow, the emerald throne of God. Yes, the queen of the thrones of air. Now, the association that I have with Libra here connects this energy to adjustment, which is all about making clear decisions based on fact and fairness, which I think is really quite similar to the Queen of Swords herself. Now, as a person, she's a woman who's graceful, perceptive, a keen observer, a subtle interpreter, an intense individualist, confident and gracious. Very much so, and very similar, I think, to the Libra person themselves. What this is saying is that you must use your intellect to make an unbiased decision about a situation. Now, compassion and empathy may distract you, so you must go with your head and not with your heart. This is not a time to beat around the bush about a situation, but decide and act. Now, you also have these two eights here as well. Now, numerologically, 8 is all about decision. 8 numerologically relates to decisions. And so it's very much the energy that's coming through here is that there is a decision that you are going to make. Not to beat around the bush, decide and act, and cut through old patterns and masks. And gee, you have a few masks stashed away in the closet, don't you? And have the courage of your convictions and move forward. I have this thought in mind, and it really is this, that my only duty in life is to remain true to myself. And that is the case. Now, shall we have a look at these playing cards? Let's see what they have to say for you. Let's have a look at this one first. Yes, the Four of Diamonds. Well, it really is for me a card of patience. And wasn't that also what this was talking about? To have the patience, to let the time, to let something happen. Make the decision and act, but then have the patience. This card can very much represent financial responsibility, which is based on your values. If a good strategy is in place, prosperity and foundations for building a financial portfolio will develop over time. Now, sometimes when this card appears, and it depends in where it is in a spread that I'm doing in a psychic reading, an inheritance may be forthcoming. But this is a time to avoid spending on luxury. Now, in love, it may represent that somebody is in love with you. Generally, though, it speaks of a financial upswing, which is good news. Let's see what's here. When I look at a 5 like this, I see a lot of energy. I see a lot of activity. There is a lot of energy, and in spades, it can often be destructive energy. It can sometimes refer to an illness, either literally or symbolically. It can refer to changes in your lifestyle and in the way that you live. Now, there could be a change of a job, or it may be changing responsibilities within an employment area, or it could also mean moving to a new location. Sometimes I've seen it also referring to a trip, a journey. When this appears, it can mean that there is interference from outside sources. And I'll just make this point that it depends on how it sits in the spread, but it can sometimes represent a divorce or a breakup. There is, in any event, generally a warning of opposition and obstacles that are temporary, but they are able to be overcome. Sometimes I think it means that you will know of a person who is depressed. Then we have the Six of Diamonds. Sixes are, for me, about transition, things to come, things which need to be left behind, new things to be done, movement, balance. It's also very much a card of financial responsibility and indicates taking full responsibility for the payment of financial debts, handling investments, or the need to start budgeting your finances. I think it can indicate an overall improvement in your financial situation, and you may sometimes see this card appear in a spread where there is going to be help from a family member in the repayment of loans. Money can be spent and go out, maybe on a car or paying a loan off or repairs. And sometimes, I have to say, it can mean, but again, depending on what's happening with other cards in the spread, and I usually have about 20 of them, it can sometimes mean problems in a second marriage. Anyway, that's the way it is for you this month. Well, there you go, another month done, and I trust you enjoyed receiving that reading as much as I did providing it to you. I've got to say this, that you were absolutely outstanding throughout the entire course of the reading, and it was a great pleasure to provide it to you. But I want you to remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, bye for now.